our audio on the back end here. See?
Check. Da, 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 da. Now it seems to be working, but I don't know. Check, check.
Okay. Hear us, but we're very tinny now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Loud and tinny? Yeah.
Much louder. Okay. But
Did you turn the compressor up earlier? Do you think maybe that would...
I didn't. I started to. I did. Expression. Yeah. Well, those are where they're supposed to be, but we're real tinny.
Yeah.
No bass at all.
Here, you want to hear?
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear any bass, and it's very, almost sounds blown out.
The board maybe blown out. Yeah, I don't know why. That's gone back down. Check, check. Okay. I think we've blown out some channels. Check, 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 check. That real tinny still?
Waiting for the delay.
That real tinny?
Yeah, it still is.
All right.
Check, 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 check.
Check, check. Check, check. That's probably picking up all kinds of background noise.
Yep, way quieter now.
Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.
Check.
Check, 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 check. Check, check. I don't know. Man, that's about as good as I can get it. I don't know. It's real tinny.
It's just really tinny.
Check, 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 check.
I just have to wait on the delay every time. Yeah, it's really hard to make up what you're saying.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
Great.
When we turned off the gain, we were easier to hear, but we were still really quiet.
We're just quiet?
Yeah.
That may be the best I can do then.
Yeah, we're just quiet now, but you can make out what we're saying at least.
All right, well, maybe. No. Great. Great. All right. Well, if everybody's with us, Hopefully everything sounds okay. Maybe I'll turn up a little bit if you need to. I apologize.
I hear you really well.
Yeah?
I hear me very well. I don't know if it's just
Huh?
I sound really far away, even though I'm right from.
Check, check. We're hitting the same level, though.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
Right now?
I don't know what to do about it, to be honest, other than just either keep going or just call it tonight.
We can keep going. Can y'all handle that? Can y'all hear us all right? Is it be okay to keep going?
That's a you question, chat.
Okay.
All right.
Get my notes, get open. What the heck is going on here? No.
Chat says they can handle it, so.
All right. Sorry, y'all. I got.
It's the worst thing you heard today. What was that? I'm really hoping it's not that first thing that you thought it was. Blowing up those two channels. I really hope it's not that. But I hope it's just them and not the rest of the board. If it's
Open then. Finally.
I really did not want to open
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a whole breakdown of this stuff later on, but
that. Yeah.
we'll go for now, I guess. All right.
And of course, we're going to be a little bit frazzled for a minute here, chat. So just give us a second to get back on train.
All right. All right. So Aztec mythology.
Yeah.
You talk about. We got a lot. I've got a list here. I got some stories. Got a few things to talk about. We'll find out how it goes. Saying we're barely going to scratch the surface.
Right.
Of it, but try see what happens. Yeah. All right. So the first one I got for you. All right, you ready?
Right.
First name I got for you. Now we're gonna try real hard at these. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is Huitzilopochtli.
Okay.
Huitzil Opochtli.
Yeah, if you could just copy that over, that'd be way easy.
Let's see. That work?
Yeah. That's way easier than me trying to type all these.
All right. So this Huitzilopochtli.
Okay, it's the only one I know how to say.
Whatever he said. The Aztec god of war.
Yeah.
And his son, often depicted with a hummingbird headdress.
Yep.
Onto there. And he is a very, very important god. The god, I don't think he's head of the gods, but he's kind of up there.
Right.
Up there. And I don't know, the hummingbird headdress, that's gotta take a lot of hummingbirds.
Yeah. I would think so.
Hummingbirds are tiny. Make a headdress out of them would be really rough.
Yeah.
That.
Hopefully we can get that audio figured out. I'll have to crank us up as high next time.
Yeah, sorry, Bubba. Sorry. I said I don't know. Updated a couple of things beforehand and just seemed to mess everything out.
Right. So the first thing that I thought of when I saw him was cockatiels have headdresses like that.
Yeah?
The way their crests work.
Oh, I got you. Yes, yes.
Cockatoos, I guess, too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this is the first. The first two are, I believe, people would have seen these in some form of fashion.
Right.
You know, because that headdress looked familiar to me.
Right.
That's it. It came up. I was like, "Who is this?" And like, oh, okay, I've seen this somewhere before.
Yeah.
Oh, green hair coming up and everything.
Why is it that I keep seeing him wielding a snake?
Lots of snakes.
Yeah.
Lots of snakes. And now look, the Aztec Empire. We're talking like northern Mexico.
Right.
Their capital, the Aztec capital, was where Mexico City is today.
Right.
So this is through Mexico a good ways. You know, they had a large empire up through North Mexico. And we're going to try to get some of these names down. So I got some stories for you, and a couple of them will be important in the stories.
Okay.
But the next one is Quetzalcoatl. This is it's probably I think this will probably be the most popular one, most recognized, right?
Yeah.
Do this. A feathered serpent, god of wind and learning, and associated with the planet Venus. I kind of like wind and learning seems a little bit weird to go together, but hey, I didn't choose their what they did for a living, right? I'll put those through, and this is I think this one will be. Y'all have seen this one, right?
Yeah.
Quetzalcoatl.
Isn't there just a stat block for this thing in 5e, basically?
Yeah, I think so.
Feathered serpent?
Yeah.
And serpent might be what it's called there?
It might be. Feathered, yeah.
I can check.
I think there was I know there's one in the Shadowrun book. I know there's one in the Shadowrun book. I've seen it about, I think, well, a lot of people think Aztec. I'm sure this is what comes to mind.
Right.
Through there, right?
No, it's just called the Coatl. Makes way more sense.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's a on Mount Celestia, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
So you already have a stat block you can use.
Right. So that'll be fall in. Everyone knows what that one looks like. Remember, God of wind and learning. This one's kind of short name. Zolotl.
Yeah.
Zolotl, and some, I am sure, have heard of this. This is the god of lightning, death, and deformities, and it's often depicted with a dog's head. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anywhere else that has a god of deformity.
Right.
That's really kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
The whole thing. But it's a dog-headed god.
Yeah.
Zolotl. Like I said, I'm probably not saying any of these right. Bear with me. Who's that? But very weird. Like Quetzalcoatl is a god of wind.
Yeah.
And then Zolotl, he's a god of lightning.
Good point.
Wind and learning. The Avatar. Yes. Yes. The Avatar.
I'm glad the Aztec watched the last Airbender.
Yeah, right?
What do you think? Season 4 was probably their favorite season?
Maybe. Let's do that.
Because the comic.
Yeah. The
No, I would for sure have like a sorcerer that makes a pact, or a warlock, sorry, that makes a pact with Zolotl.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh, as far as D&D go, really, the guys who went over a warlock or a paladin would be like fit right in, right? Yeah.
100%.
That's right. I got.
Be a witch in Pathfinder that made a pact with Zolotl.
There you go.
Don't get me to guess in chat. I know Huitzilopochtli, and I feel good for that one. That's the best I got.
But this next guy, Tezcatlipoca.
Okay.
All right. This is the god of providence, rulership, and sorcery. And his giveaway is that he'd be depicted with a smoking mirror on his chest.
Right.
At times. And that's an image I've seen from Aztec Mythology before, too. The guy with the smoky mirror on his chest.
Yeah.
Are they, once again, going through these, when with these pantheons of gods, and we'll see them in other places too. That they have very strict, very certain things that is under their control.
Right.
And the sorcery thing comes up a little bit later, but the Tezcatlipoca. Give it a better. I need a better description of it.
Okay, so it seems like the biggest agreement is that he is a man, normally dark skinned, but I've seen some light skinned versions.
Yeah.
That has yellow paint to make him look like a tiger over his eyes and the bridge of his nose and the bottom of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like that, the tiger style appearance.
Yeah.
The mirror in the middle of his chest. And then in a lot of these depictions, one of his legs is either smoky and magical or inside something else, like inside a censer or a pot or something like that, where maybe the idea of genies.
Possibly, kind of thing, maybe.
But in some versions, he's just a tiger man. So, there's that.
And look, a lot of these pictures, especially ones who are, that really dig into lore and everything, there's probably going to be images on there. They're taken from, let's say, Temple Wall or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe images that are in the picture that we're not getting the full sense of what that means.
Right.
Might have, that may have something to do with rulership, having his leg in the cauldron of smoke, right? Or sorcery, for that matter.
He also seems to either like his sacrifices or likes to eat on his own volition, because a lot of these have him either holding a heart, eating it, or holding an arm and eating it.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Mysterious guy.
Yes. Now, this is not, put this over here, Cihuacotl, not the god of Chihuahuas. I don't know, Cihuacotl.
Cihuacotl?
Yeah, she's a goddess of fertility, childbirth, and women. Now, I find her interesting because she's often depicted as a serpent, but with a woman's head.
Right.
The opposite of a Wanti, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
With that, but she covers lots of snakes. Like I said, lots of snakes.
Makes sense.
Lots of snakes through this.
You would probably revere snakes if you came from that part of the world.
I imagine. Now, the next one on the list I got for you, as we're looking these up and kind of checking them out, kind of giving an idea of them. I've heard of this one too. Tlaloc. They keep putting consonants together that my tongue won't put together.
Right.
Tlaloc. That's a short one.
I just wanted to throw out a quick thing on Cihuacotl.
Yes.
Apparently, another spelling of her name is Cotlicule, and I feel like I've heard that name before too. But
okay, that's a different.
Is it a different one?
That's a different god.
Oh, so I wonder if historians did that, or if it's
actually, I think
different versions of the telling. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get into a little bit of it. Tlaloc, the god of rain, fertility, and water.
I've definitely seen this guy before.
Yes, often depicted with goggle-like eyes and jaguar fangs.
Yeah.
Through that, he's not very attractive, kind of mean-looking.
He's cool.
But the god of rain, fertility, and water.
I like it.
Okay.
I see a lot of versions of him that have like a big blue headdress behind him. It's really cool.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. Let me take a shot at this. Ready?
All right.
Chow Chihutzliku. Lots of T's beside L. You don't have a T without an L beside it, of course.
Right.
Chow. Let me put this over here. That wasn't what I meant to do.
Chihuahua?
Yes. Oh, wait. That's funny. Copy. Over here in the chat. Let's paste this in. Man, these spellings. All right, yeah. Goddess lake, streams, body of water. Lake, streams, and bodies of water. Often depicted with a flowing skirt made of water.
That's cool.
Yeah. I like I like the design, the idea, because they come from I'm sure there's a lot more forest, like tropical rainforest idea comes with the colors that come with it, the animals that come with it.
For sure.
When you talk about jaguars, that's an Amazonian, in the Amazon forest animal, and lots of the snakes, pythons, and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, she's kind of the Poseidon in a way, I guess. She
Makes
covers
sense.
the winds, the lakes, streams, and the bodies of water.
We have a really cool campaign just with the ones we've already laid out.
Yeah. Yes. Now, the one you mentioned, I might have it wrong, right? There may be two names for the same thing, but the Kotlikue, when I was studying this, she was the mother goddess of life and death,
Okay.
and she's depicted with a skirt of riding snakes.
Yeah.
She's got a whole skirt with snakes going everywhere, and that's the goddess of life and death.
It could also just be that I was getting links showing the two of them linked together, because theoretically, Cipoquotl is the daughter of Kotlikue.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So it could just be that's what was linked. But I've definitely seen the statue before.
Yeah, this is the mother goddess of life and death, but she's not over fertility. That falls under her daughters.
Right.
Women in childbirth fall under hers. This
Also,
one,
some shade darks out here because there's some really, really good Monster Girl interpretations of some of these.
oh yeah, yes, there he is. So this next one, which I pronounce, I guess, Zipe Totek.
I think it's Zipe.
Zipe. This is the god of agriculture, vegetation, and springtime.
I love this guy.
Well, yeah, he's depicted as wearing the flayed skin of a sacrificial victim,
Yeah.
and that goes into the idea of rebirth
Right.
of the gods listed here. This is the corn king,
Right. Yeah.
of death and rebirth, the agriculture, the growing of plants, the renewal of life,
Right.
the springtime.
Just the Aztec version of that.
Yeah, just the Aztec version of that. Very interesting. Kind of morbid, wearing the flayed skin of a sacrificial victim, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I do that. Now, this will be a fun one to say. See if I can do this one. Place this over here. Mictlan Tecuhtli. I am not having a stroke, I promise. Mictlan Tecuhtli.
And again, just for anybody watching this that doesn't know how to pronounce these, it's not that we're trying to be.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be demeaning or anything.
Right.
I can't say these words.
Doing our best to say them right.
I thought the Japanese words were tough. Got nothing on these Aztec on that. But yeah, this is the dead, the god of the dead,
Yeah.
Lord of the Hades, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, he's got a skull face, kind of skeletal form. He is the god of the dead.
Like it. Do we know why he goes around with an owl sometimes? See that in a few different images here.
No, I didn't have an owl brought up on this. I don't think.
I wonder if it's just because the way that owls leave the skeletons, they don't eat the bones.
Right, they puke up the pods.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's
Well, they do eat the bones, but they don't digest them.
right. Yeah.
Okay, this one. Tla Huizi Kalpantikatuli. Twahuizi Kalpantikatuli. Yeah, whatever. That's a long word. Not that. And I find this weird because Quetzalcoatl is associated with the planet Venus.
Right.
But this is the god of dawn, Venus, and the planet Venus.
Okay.
And he's often depicted as the male figure with a star-shaped headdress.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. He's got a real... I think he's not as popular because his name's so long.
Probably.
Tongue-twisty.
Probably.
Through that. But they got quite a pantheon. They've got a pretty big pantheon. Some really cool-looking images and ideas that come out of them.
Yeah.
And there's Of course, there's some people that have done some amazing art out there.
I think one of my favorite things about it is the like side shots of the
Yeah.
various gods.
Yeah.
And so, whereas in a lot of cultures you see side shots and they're done in profile,
Yeah.
so that it's not just a straight 2D
Mhm.
shot of them, all of the Aztecs get. The Aztec gods get those like straight 2D style
Yeah.
that I think is really cool
Yeah.
because it was thought of way before animation was thought of, right?
Right.
But
Also, the colors are so vibrant when you go
Yeah.
back and look at the, you know,
100%.
they're all reds, greens, and, you know, blues, all these really, I don't say just primary colors, but it kind of almost, you know,
Yeah, it gives that feeling.
Yeah.
Even though you recognize the other colors are in there, it makes you feel like it's mostly primary colors.
This one is pretty important too.
Okay.
Okay. His name's not that long, but this is Tanatu. 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 I don't know.
Tanatu?
Tanatu, maybe. Tanatu. But this is the sun god.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, with he's a warrior, man. He's got eagle feathers. You know, I mean, his headdress is made of eagle feathers, and yeah, this guy goes up against Ares, Mars. This guy is like, he's a warrior.
All I'm saying is there is a sick piece of art on here. You'll find it if you search. It's like the third one where the headdress is like a sun corona around him. It looks incredible.
Yeah,
this image alone could start a campaign.
Right. This guy's intimidating. Right? Big, scary. No, but he's not the war god. That's
Right.
Huitzilopochtli.
Yeah.
But he is seen as a warrior, and very strong. And I love that they're hitting on the suns, because we're at the sun.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing in Aztec mythology, and I've got some stories that we're going to go in. We're just kind of introducing you to some of the cast, not all of them, but some of the cast that they'll show up in them too. This guy probably has my favorite name.
Okay.
All right, so let me copy this over and get it pasted in the chat. Right here. Hugh Kyoto. Man, there is like some scholars. Since the Aztec scholar ever comes across this, he's going to put out a hit on me.
Right.
And get the cartel to put a hit on me for saying he's dead right. But this has got a music, dance, and mischief. This is Loki. This is a trickster figure. Yeah. He's got a coyote head, which sounds really. These animal headed gods. We got a couple. We got a dog's head.
Yeah.
And then we got a coyote head. That's not to them. If I hit send, that'll go through, so chat can see it. That'll help, huh? Hugh Kyoto. Got a music, dance, and everything.
Could it be Hue?
It could be, but if anybody Mexican watch this, I don't want to hear. I don't want to say, "Hey, wait."
Right.
Okay, I don't know him that well.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, this
makes me think about the meme.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a dumb meme, but it's funny every time.
But to me, that's a cool guy. That's the kind of guy. That's the guy I kind of want to be like. That's the one I'd want to meet.
Yeah.
Music, dance, mischief.
Well, if you're doing a campaign, you have to meet that guy at some point, right?
That'd be cool.
You have to.
This thing's got such a huge pantheon. So it's Papalotl. Now I'm not introducing somebody named Papalotl. It's ITZ. It's Papalotl. I put it over here and get it sent to chat so they can see the words I'm trying to say.
Somebody made a smite skin for this person.
Oh, I'm sure. This is the goddess of childbirth, agriculture, and death.
Okay.
Often depicted with sharp obsidian claws and wings.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This is It's just that a little bit. Now she is somehow she's underneath Cihuatl,
right?
The goddess of fertility, childbirth, and women,
right?
And she's specifically over like the coming to life, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of crossover.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. And what's weird is they have, it's like you probably heard like the Inuits have 17 different words for snow,
Right.
that kind of thing. They're talking about very specific dealing that snows in a very specific state
Right.
when they're talking about it. They have a word for that state of snow, And it's kind of like that it's kind of makes me think of that when it going through this of what they're doing. I don't know what part of childbirth exactly,
Right.
but yeah, she had something to do with childbirth, as well.
And I'm here for it. I like the idea of this family of gods that are actually like working together as compared to what happens with the Greeks and the Romans and the Norse.
But don't forget, I have some stories to tell.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it might not go this way when we get to that, but I want to believe.
Now, this one too. This one's got an aspect to it. That's kind of like we've already talked about, but Maquilzochitl, Maquilzochitl, NyQuil. So Chitley?
Yeah, it is so cheating. Yeah, isn't it? Because it doesn't end in an I.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think it's the first one we've seen that like has that style. Because like Ixtapalotl is the odal as compared to the E.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But this is the god of games, music, and dance.
Heck yeah, let's play.
All right. And he's always depicted as a young man wearing colorful clothing. Right? I realize how lame that description is now, talking about saying he has colorful clothing when I'm talking about Aztec gods.
Right.
But his are more colorful than
The reds and golds and greens and orange.
Yeah. The I don't think. See, I think the Huehuecoatl is kind of like the trickster.
Yeah.
Part of it, so it's like that's a dark side of the gaming music.
Yeah.
And this is the other side, not the dark side, the better side.
Yeah, this guy just likes to have fun.
Right.
I think. I don't know the stories yet.
Right.
My assumption. That's my hope.
It was this. Some of these guys get very specific about what they cover.
Okay.
And like I said, these all we're talking about right now is their pantheon. We haven't gotten heroes or anything else, right?
Right.
So this, put this one over here. Nana Watson.
Okay.
Nana, it's my Nana. Nana Watson. And this is a god of sun and of leprosy.
I don't want this to be my Nana.
Right. And it's often depicted as a poor, humble beggar. Which is a little bit different from all the gods.
Yeah.
All the other gods. They never see poor or humble.
What's the crossover between sun and leprosy?
I have no idea.
Maybe they believed the sun caused leprosy with sunspots or something?
Now, they've got some. They have quite a few beliefs about the sun.
Okay.
But I don't know. But it's a god of leprosy. So if you get visited by Nana Watson, and this is a very encompassing pantheon.
Yeah.
They cover the god of deformities, the god of leprosy.
Yeah, they're catching everything.
They catch everything. Which, honestly, they've got. Greek has a big pantheon.
Yeah.
Rome is Greek 2.0. They have a big pantheon. But I don't think it's near as big as this. It doesn't seem as big.
Right.
And the only thing that I know of in my mind is like the Hindu gods.
Yeah.
But there's over like 400,000.
Right.
Yeah. Is it Nightbot? Is it ad time? I bet it's not. Okay. Ooh, all right.
There's some pictures about this guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. A child getting his guts ripped out. The guts come out as flutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's about. Why flutes? But look, all I'm saying is Nana Watson could be a great big bad for your campaign.
Yeah.
Meet him as a humble beggar, don't realize what he is, and
yeah, you would meet. This is, like I said, this is one. All the rest of them were like so glorious, right?
Yeah.
They're show. They almost show off in a way
Mm-hmm.
to speak, but this one doesn't. I thought that was very interesting. Different type of god there.
Yeah.
So how about Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. Ugh.
All right. What's a petlado?
Ugh. My tongue sounds so stupid. This is the goddess of Earth. She's depicted as a woman with a green and brown dress.
It's hard to find pictures for her because it automatically pulls up pictures for Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah. Yes.
There we go.
Let's do that. She. This is Mother Earth.
Oh, okay.
This is Gaia.
I got you.
You know, in comparatively.
Yeah.
This is the Mother Earth. She's a goddess of the planet we live on.
Nice.
Do what?
Nice.
Nice author. He said, nah.
No.
Thought you're going somewhere.
No, I like when Mother Earth is depicted as an actual person in the pantheons compared to just, and there's also the Earth.
Right.
Like,
right. Like, no, this is a actual, goddess of the Earth. Doesn't care about people. You don't want to take her off, so you take care of the Earth, right? Tlazolteotl. For any Latin folks out there, I'm sorry. This is really cool, so interesting. Tlazolteotl. That's
Okay.
how I'm going with that.
Yeah.
This is a goddess. She's a goddess of purification and fertility, and she's often what's going on, man? This is she's often depicted with a broom and a feather fan.
Okay.
So like clean up, right? Purification, clean up.
Yeah.
With that.
Also got owls with her in a lot of images. Interesting. Something going on.
Something going on with the owl. Owls is jaguar, snakes, and owls. You're gonna come across them.
It looks cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on the audio. Some big problems earlier.
Yeah, I'm afraid I might have blown out my board or a couple of channels on my board. But we're gonna struggle through it tonight, and hopefully, by the next week or so, hopefully I have it fixed and see what's going on with it.
I like her. She looks cool. Do be warned, chat, if you're just checking, you'll find some pictures that might not be safe for work.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
I'm sure. I am sure. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, though.
I think the audio.
Okay.
Tlazolteotl.
Tlazolteotl, yes.
I'm doing my best to say them as well.
Appreciate it, man. I won't look like the only idiot here.
Yeah, don't want you to have to be alone here.
All right. Zachi Quetzal. Zachi Quetzal. Xochi Quetzal. The goddess of love, beauty and flowers. She's often got a flowered headdress and a jade skirt.
Okay.
Here it is. I guess this is Venus or sorry, I say Athena. But it's not Athena.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Thank you.
Yeah. Some cool images here. I'm digging it. Should be fun to give some quests for the campaign.
I think so. Everything, like this is.
Don't think I'd have the party fighter.
No, I don't know that I would have. Even the ones we've gone through, I don't know that I would, except maybe the one that you mentioned, the big bad that got leprosy.
Yeah.
And then a Watson or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know because it's different.
Yeah.
They see it, we're like leprosy is bad, and they're like, well, leprosy is bad, but it's from the gods.
Right.
So we must. Now this one I got for you, Trey. Really cool.
Okay.
Zuiacotl. Is a fire serpent, god of life and death.
Okay.
He's often depicted as a fiery serpent or as a spear. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
The fiery serpent seems a much more,
Heck yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Look at this thing. This is great. There's some renditions that have the tail as a spear.
That would be interesting, though. you find the spear and pick it up, and it's the god of life and death,
Right.
or one of the gods of life and death.
That's cool.
That. And then we've got another one that's kind of the same.
Okay.
Because that's a fire serpent, right? The fire serpent god of life and death.
I just want to point out there's a version of this that somebody made which just has it with a chainsaw.
Nice.
Like, look, yeah, if it's a serpent also as a spear, why couldn't it also be a chainsaw?
Might as well be. Ziatekutli. Ziatekutli. And this is the god of fire.
Oh, okay.
So we had a fire serpent god, but this is the god of fire.
Yeah.
Often depicted with a blue-green color and with red and yellow feathers.
Nice.
Like that. Lots of feathers in this. The gods like feathers. They go into that.
Why not, right?
Exactly.
Oh, there's some great art for this guy.
I'm sure. Oh, there. I saw a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's cool. have a cleric that specifically serves this guy when they use flame strike.
Oh yeah.
For sacred fire. It's all themed around him, and it's blue and
green
red fire and green.
Blue
Yeah.
and green. Yeah.
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 That's sick.
Yes. 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 Woo. We're gonna get through this pantheon, y'all. Yakatakutli. 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 Yeah, this is a god of commerce and travelers.
Okay.
Often depicted with something, usually something with his nose. Some kind of ornamentation on his nose, but
Yeah.
it appears through or on it, and usually carrying a bag of goods.
Okay.
Through that.
Okay.
The
I was a little thrown off because the first image has him carrying what looks like maybe a cross.
yeah,
But
yeah,
okay.
yeah, but yeah, like the god of commerce and travelers. He's gonna be your merchant guide right there, right?
Right.
He's selling stuff. Oh, this next guy I got. This. Okay. This is how important everything is, right? So to pose to cuddle. Oh man. Yeah, this is a god of something called Pulque, Pulque,
Okay.
and it's a fermented drink that's made from something called the Magui plant.
Okay.
And he's often depicted carrying a drinking vessel and a pointed cap.
Makes sense.
But he's you know what fermented drinks do. So
Right.
This is the god of drunks.
Makes sense. Why not, right?
That's what he's a god of that drink.
Sure.
So I guess he brought that drink to the world, right?
As usual, chat, when you're searching this one, you're probably going to pull up ones that have similar names because Google doesn't know how to differentiate. So you're going to pull up a bunch of stuff about Tezcatlipoca as well. I'm doing my best, too. I'm trying. I don't want you to flounder alone.
I appreciate it, man. Okay. So this is the first one that's not necessarily a god, okay?
I know how this one's said.
Do you? Say it.
Yes. This is Apisodal.
Always up. Okay.
The only reason I know how this one is said is because I made a homebrew monster based on it.
Right. Okay. This is a legendary creature resembling a cross between an otter and a monkey,
Yeah.
and it lives in bodies of water and pulls unsuspected victims underwater to their doom.
I forgot where I got it from, though, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until I saw the name that my brain went, hey,
I
we
remember
know
that. Yeah. Yeah. I know that guy.
This thing's sick.
Okay.
Do you think this is where they got Displacer Beast from?
Oh, that's interesting.
'Cause it's
Possibly.
got like the tail that comes up, you know?
Yeah. Might have something to do with that. Let's see. Copy this, put this one over here. This is kind of a shorter name. Metzli. This is the moon god.
Okay.
And he governs over, of course, the night and the lunar cycle.
Right.
Uh,
Seen a few images where Metzli's head has been removed.
yeah. Yeah.
Did Metzli's head become removed?
I got to the stories yet.
Okay.
We got well, I think one more. Two more, excuse me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So oh wait, did I already do this one? I'm sorry, I think I got a couple of these twice.
I don't think we've done this one yet.
Okay. Some of these names are so close. Cihuateteo. But these are spirits, and these are very, very specific spirits.
Okay.
These are spirits of women who died in childbirth. They were considered both dangerous and very powerful, and they had the ability to cause harm to the living.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Like that. So these are very, very specific spirits.
Is that a reference to the moon? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. All those weird statues they got.
I like them.
Okay. And finally, somebody sounds like somebody else's name, but it's not. A very important god. Teotl. Teotl. This is the oldest of the gods in Aztec mythology. He's associated with fire, warmth, and the hearth. And he's often depicted as an old man with a beard and a staff.
Okay.
Now, see those come up quite a bit. Well, I kind of gave you an introduction to, the pantheon of God, like a lot of the gods,
Yeah.
what they're over, a few legendary creatures, spirits, right? So now I got some stories for you.
Okay, hit me with them.
Because I think these are just. I wanted to get through all the names, kind of lay them up, and kind of give a definition to them.
Right.
But I need something to come to life. So, here we go. So first of all, they're a creation myth. All right. So long ago, sit around and listen. Stay a while and listen. So long ago, before the world existed, there was only the void, an endless darkness called the primeval sea. But deep within the primeval sea, there existed the dual gods, Ometecuhtli and Omec-Ihuatl, who were both male and female, creator and creatrix. Together, they brought forth the universe and all that exists within it. Now, this is obviously not the first time we talked about creation.
Right.
With a void,
yeah,
and then two things coming together. Last time it was fire and ice.
Yeah.
And this time it's these two gods that come together in the void.
Last time it was George R. Martin.
Right.
Singing a song.
Bringing the world and all that exists within it. So first, they create four great deities.
Okay.
Huitzilopochtli, who's the god of the war of the sun. Quetzalcoatl, the god of knowledge, wisdom, and wind. Tezcatlipoca, the god of night and sorcery. And Zypetotec, the god of agriculture and vegetation.
Okay.
These four gods, now they have a title. These four gods, also known as the Tezcatlipocas.
That's not confusing at all.
Right. I'm telling you. There were so many times I was rereading over stuff I've written down. It's like, didn't I use that word? No. It's different.
Okay, so let me make sure I get this right. And I'll clarify it for Chad as well if they might be confused. Huitzilopochtli, Quetzalcoatl, Tezcatlipoca, and Xipe-Totec.
Yeah.
All become Tezcatlipocas.
Yes. And so after Ometecuhtli and Ometecuhtli they made these four, and you're going to create the rest of the world. Okay. That's what they were saying, right? Four gods, also known as that, were also tasked with creating the rest of the world.
Okay.
To create the world, they descended into the depths of the primeval sea and retrieved the bones of a previous world. They ground the bones into dust and mixed it with the blood of the sacrificed gods, giving birth to the new world.
Thank you!
You're welcome, bro. Are you telling me The Aztec mythology
Yes.
is based on loop theory.
Wait, I've got some more stories to tell you.
Okay.
This is gonna get interesting.
Okay,
That's
I
why-
go into this right now.
Okay, so so they bang on the bones and mix it with the blood, sacrifice blood, gods, giving birth to the new world. But the world was incomplete, so they went to Mictlan, the underworld, to retrieve the bones of the previous world rulers, king and queen, Cihuacotl. Okay? Using those bones, they fashioned humanity. They first created a race of giants, but the giants were unruly and destroyed everything in their path. So they decided to make a new race, okay? One that would be more obedient, less destructive.
What did they do about the giants? They
It's-
just evil?
Didn't say. They said they would. I think they destroyed them, but I don't know that they got all of them.
Or did they all go to Agartha?
But they no, they didn't go to. They sacrificed themselves to give humanity the precious gifts of corn, fire, and civilization.
Oh, okay.
That is like the three tenets of the Aztecs: is corn,
Right.
fire, civilization.
Yeah, you got those three, you're set.
But humanity's
Popcorn, watch a movie together, you're good.
right. But see, humanity's creation comes at a pretty steep price. To keep the world in balance, the gods demanded blood and human sacrifices.
Mm.
The first human sacrifice was offered to the sun, and thus began the tradition of human sacrifice in Aztec culture. That was their creation story.
Right.
Really kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Now I got another story for you. Okay. So a long time ago in the land of the Aztecs, there lived a great warrior named Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl. And now he was brave, very strong, won lots of battles. Lots of battles for his people. He was also known for his kind heart, and he loved a princess named Itzcoatl. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. But those two were very deeply in love, and they made plans to marry, right?
Yeah.
But before they could do so, Popocatépetl was called away to battle against a neighboring tribe. So the princess was waiting for him to turn, but as days went by, she started to worry.
Makes sense.
Then a rumor came to her ear that Popocatépetl had died in battle. And when she heard that, she was devastated. She could not bear to live without her love, so she died of a broken heart.
Mm.
Now, when Popocatépetl returned from the war, he was heartbroken
Right.
to learn of her death, and he was determined to honor her memory. So he carried her body to the top of a mountain, and there he built a tomb for her, where he could visit her and pay his respects. But he couldn't bear the thought of leaving his beloved alone, so he climbed to the summit of a nearby volcano, which he named after himself, and built a fire.
Nice. As you do.
And from that day on, he kept a constant watch over her tomb, making sure that she was safe and protected. He vowed to stay there for all eternity, watching over her and keeping her memory alive. The gods saw this and were so impressed by the dedication of their love, they turned him into two mountains. So to this day, if you visit the region, you can see the mountain Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl side by side.
I got you.
And Popocatépetl, ugh,
You're getting it. You're getting it.
it's still a volcano. It's an active volcano. And you can
Nice.
still see smoke rising from it
Nice.
as it keeps eternal watch over his beloved.
Warrior's heart never stops burning.
Yeah, so you
I
can
like that a lot.
so you can go there and see the mountains that they were turned into.
That's cool. I'm so glad you picked Aztec next chat. It's great.
Well, I think I have learned a lot about like studying and trying to get these together.
Mm.
And I think this is better to do it. I've done it this way.
At the end of all this, you're going to compile a book, right?
No. All right, I got another one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So long ago, in the heart of the Aztec Empire, there lived a powerful goddess named Quetzalcoatl.
Okay.
She was known as the Lady of the Skirt of Snakes, for her skirt was made of writhing serpents. She was a fearsome deity with a fierce temper and a hunger for human hearts. One day, she was sweeping the temple a beautiful feather fell from the sky and landed on her. It was a sign from the gods that she would soon conceive a divine child. She was overjoyed and eagerly awaited the birth of her new son. And this is where it gets weird. But her other children, the Sentzon Huitzanaha, which that's I didn't go into those because they weren't happy because there's 400 of them that live in the stars. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And they have a reputation for causing trouble.
Okay.
So this group that lived in the stars, her other children, were jealous of the new brother and plotted to kill him before he could be born. She found out about the plan and was horrified by it. She feared for the safety of her unborn child. But her son, Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, came to her aid. And he sprang forth, fully formed from his mother's womb, armed with a shield and a spear, ready to defend his family.
Yeah!
Yeah, that had to be a very painful birth. Not only was he fully formed, but he had a shield and a spear.
That's my boy!
So he engaged in a fierce battle with his siblings, all the jealous ones, and defeated them one by one. And when the last one had fallen, and he emerged victorious, and he became the patron god of the Aztecs.
Right.
So to honor his mother, he placed his image at the top of the Templo Mayor, the main temple, in the capital city of Tenochtitlan,
Right.
the Aztec capital. And the remains of that temple still stand. You can go see them. If you go to Mexico City, you can go see them.
Nice.
And her image is at the top of that. And it's meant to be they tell this as the story of the strength and the courage of the
Right.
Aztecs, and it comes from their patron god who defended his family.
So did Huitzilopochtli, I mean, I love him. He's wonderful. Didn't know this, right?
Right.
Did Huitzilopochtli just like manifest a spear and shield inside his mother's womb? Or did he just like go,
I
hey
don't
mom,
know.
I need you to also give birth to a sword or a spear and a shield for me?
I don't know. I don't know. This stuff is weird.
I love him. He's wonderful. I'm gonna pull up more pictures of Huitzilopochtli. He's the best.
Now this was my favorite story. My favorite story that I found. Okay.
Okay.
Long ago, in the land of the Aztecs, there were 5 sons, each of which had its own era.
Okay.
Era. Not error. Era.
Makes sense.
Well, actually, they have their own era, too. But anyway, so the first son was known as the Jaguar son, but it was destroyed by a great earthquake.
Okay.
Okay. The second son was the Wind son, but it was blown out by a hurricane. The third son was the Rain son, but it was extinguished by a devastating rain of fire.
That's a problem.
The fourth son was the Water son. This goes in another story too. The fourth son was a Water son, which was ruled by the goddess Chalticlecu, the water god.
Okay.
And the people, this is where the giants were. They lived in this era.
Okay.
And they built great cities and temples. But this era was also destroyed. This era stopped when the gods unleashed a flood on the world.
Okay.
That's the end of that era, right?
Get rid of the giants.
Get rid of the giants. The fifth son was the son of movement, and that's the era we're in now,
Okay.
right? It is to be ruled by the god Tonatiuh, and the people of this era are believed to be our ancestors.
Okay.
According to the legend, the god Quetzalcoatl and his twin brother Xolotl. Hey! Yes, you are extremely late. I'm having so much trouble getting through this one, Dark. The names are incredible.
Yeah.
But Quetzalcoatl and his brother Xolotl stole bones from the underworld, and that's what they used, what we talked about earlier in creation, that's what they used to create the humans.
Right.
Now the legend goes on to say that the era of the son of movement will also come to an end, just like the previous 4 eras. This will happen when the god Huitzilopochtli defeats the great serpent Ragnarok. Are we talking about Ragnarok right there?
Right.
Yeah, all this is Aztec, yes. Leading to the destruction of the world. But even then, it said a new era will be born from the ashes of the world, and life will continue in a cycle of creation and destruction.
So, yeah, no, we know there's some bad technical issues started in the stream, and
I know.
we're going to see what we can do to fix it. But chat voted for us to go ahead and just carry on.
Yeah, I'm trying the best I can. I don't know what I can do. So we're gonna struggle through this.
But so question:
Yes,
does that mean no? We appreciate it for sure. If we
absolutely.
didn't know, we would want to know.
Absolutely.
So was there life on Earth in the first three eras?
Well, there's gods, and it seems to imply that there was something there,
Right?
Because it's still
Because they took from previous civilizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all the civilizations were built off the bones of the old civilization.
It's really cool to me that their mythology starts with us in the fifth era.
Yeah.
Like, hey, all the stuff that came before, you don't get to see that. We don't have any records of that.
Yeah.
This is all you get.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Aztec mythology rules.
It is. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. And there's so many. There's things that come up through all these. Not only do you have people like gods over control of different things,
yeah,
but the way cycles happen, or the flood. There's all these things that come together.
Yeah.
Kind of. Maybe not exactly. They're not exactly alike in the two.
Right.
But they're similar across all these mythologies. And I've got proof of that here in a little bit. Somebody asked about that.
The worldwide flood that wiped out the people that lived before that
were
bigger
giant
and stronger.
Yeah. And so, if you go, for example, the Torah, the old thing, right? You wipe out the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree with this translation.
Right.
I guess, but a lot of times they will translate Nephilim as giants.
Yeah.
And I know the Nephilim were giants, but they're not specifically giants.
Right. And there's giants in every single mythology.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to go back to the fourth son.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
The one that was
son of water.
Yeah, son of water. That was that age ended when the gods flooded the earth. Right. For the fifth age. So in this myth, it said that the world has been destroyed and recreated 4 times. The first 3 creations ended in disaster due to the actions of God. In the 4th creations, now the giants. I said that humanity was made out of the bones from before.
Right.
The giants, though, they made them out of maize dough, and water.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Interesting.
But they were not happy with them because they were disobedient. They did not offer sacrifices. So this is when Tezcatlipoca caused the Great Flood.
Which one?
Shut up.
Which Tezcatlipoca?
The
Tezcatlipoca or Quetzalcoatl the Tezcatlipoca?
No. The
Okay.
Tezcatlipoca, not them as a group. Him.
Not Huitzilopochtli the Tezcatlipoca.
No. But they caused a great flood, destroyed the world, and only one couple, Coxcatli and his wife, Xochiquetzal, survived by hiding in a hollowed-out tree trunk.
So 2 giants survived.
After the flood, the gods decided to create a new sun and a new world. So they chose the god named Nanahuatzin to sacrifice himself in order to become the new sun. However, he was not strong enough to make the journey to the heavens on his own, so the gods Quetzalcoatl offered himself to sacrifice as well as guide Nanahuatzin on his journey.
Okay.
So together, those 2 climbed to the top of the sacred mountain, prepared for the sacrifice. Nanahuatzin jumped in the flames and became the 5th sun. Quetzalcoatl ascended to the heavens, becoming the morning star. And this, morning star, right?
Yeah.
This new creation was known as the 5th sun. It says, and of course, that's the what we're living in now, right?
Yeah. The era of movement.
And I need to go into a little bit more about Quetzalcoatl. I got another story about him a little bit, but he's a redeemer. He ascended, and he's going to come back.
Yeah.
For an era of peace and everything.
Of course.
Okay. So let me tell you about Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca. Let me get a little more detail on them too. Okay.
Which Tezcatlipoca?
The god, not the group name, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So in the beginning, the world was a dark place. The 2 powerful gods, Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, emerged from the void and created the world together.
Okay.
However, they soon became enemies, each vying for ultimate power. So Tezcatlipoca tricked Quetzalcoatl into drinking too much, causing him to fall into a deep sleep. And while he slept, Tezcatlipoca disguised himself as the son and created his own creatures. When Quetzalcoatl awoke and saw the new creatures, he was filled with rage and destroyed them. So Tezcatlipoca retaliated by causing a great flood that destroyed everything in its path.
Right.
Quetzalcoatl was able to survive by turning himself into a serpent and floating on the floodwaters.
Nice. Good job.
I don't know if it was for 40 days or 40 nights, but it was floating on the water.
Right.
So it took years, but years later, Quetzalcoatl returned and confronted Tezcatlipoca, and they battled fiercely, causing great destruction across the land.
Right.
But in the end, Quetzalcoatl emerged victorious, but was so filled with guilt over the destruction he had caused that he banished himself from the world. And it is said that Quetzalcoatl returned to Earth to bring about a new age of prosperity and peace.
Okay.
And the story I heard, when I said before, he's filled with guilt. He went and helped the other god who became the fifth son.
Instead of becoming the sun himself.
Yeah, he ascended and banished himself from the earth. Okay. But he will return one day to bring about a new age of prosperity and peace.
Nice.
He is a redeemer.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so that I hope those stories. I know we went through a lot of names at the first of this. The pantheon of God it's huge, and like I said, we scratched the surface, and there's all kinds of stories.
Well, I'm sure.
But I found those 5 to be kind of the most interesting. I like the ages, the different suns. The Earth's been destroyed over and over again.
Right.
We're in the 5th age of it. I hope those stories kind of bring it to life, because it's one thing to go down just through just naming off the gods, which is cool because there's some great pictures of them.
Oh yeah.
Great history of them. But all those stories gave a little bit. Now, a little bit of clarity to their interaction and how they view things on this earth. Now, when we started talking about this, we're talking, you say giants are everywhere. Yeah. And we'd mentioned before, I said, this everywhere has a flood myth.
Yeah.
And there was questions about the flood myth. So I got together a list of the flood myths.
Okay.
From around the world, okay?
All right.
So Mesopotamia has a flood myth.
Mm-hmm.
The Hindu has a flood myth. Ancient Greeks have a flood myth. There's a Chinese flood myth, of course, the biblical flood myth. The Aztec flood myth we talked about. Incas have a flood myth. There's Hawaiian flood myth. Ojibwe flood myth.
Okay.
The Maya have a flood myth. Right. Aboriginal Australians have a flood myth. The Cherokee have a flood myth. The Finnish have a flood myth.
Okay.
The Armenians have a flood myth. Babylonian, Egyptian, Irish, Yoruba, Georgian, Sumerian. And I got through 20. I got 20 listed there.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot more.
Japan has one as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think theirs has to do with the oarfish, right?
Yeah.
I think that does. You don't want to see one of those in Japan.
Right.
What? You don't want to see it wash up on the beach, right?
Right.
Okay. But the Mesopotamian flood myth, that comes from about 4,000 BC.
Right.
The Hindus 3,000. The ancient Greeks around sometime before 1,000 BC. The Chinese flood myth before 2,000 BC. The same way with a little bit older than that for the biblical flood myth. The Aztec is sometime before the 16th century.
Okay.
They came up with that. The Incas, same, about 16th century.
Right.
Hawaiian flood myth is sometime before the 18th century.
Okay.
They had that, and they go through, and a lot of these are more modern than I thought, right?
Right.
Because I think about Aztec, I'm thinking ancient, and you know what? It's not the ancient. Oxford University is actually older than the Aztec Empire.
Yeah.
But they have all this. They still. That's not taking anything away from them at all.
They have a lot of history still.
Yeah. But the oldest flood myth I could find was the Mesopotamian one. That's 4,000 BC. And the Finnish flood myth, the earliest record, and the Aboriginal one. Now, these dates are based off, when Westerners found them, heard about them.
Right.
And some of them, like the Ojibwe and everything, that's, sometime before the 19th century is best we can do.
Right.
We heard about it in the 19th century. Through that. But I wanted to get those together. It's like that myth that I think they all come from the Younger Dryas period.
Right.
But that's speculation.
Right. We don't know, and we probably never will know.
No, and it's what I found is among the people who know their crap, unlike me, there's not really contention, but there's some that are like, yeah, there was a worldwide flood. We think it was around, sometime around 10,000 BC, and it was Younger Dryas period. We were going through the Torrid meteor system. Anyway, they hit the Earth, caused floods and everything like that. Which is also about the time that we ended the Fifth Age.
Right.
Too. So, and that all those meteors would have hit somewhere around Canada, like all around Canada.
Right.
A bit closer. But I wanted to clear that up and go through those because somebody asked a while back to name a few others, and I wanted to be sure that
caught up to that.
Yeah, I wanted to be sure that they did appear.
Yeah, I agree.
And that I wouldn't just talk bull crap.
Well, there's a reason that we keep bringing it up when other mythologies mention stuff that are mentioned in other ones. It's because you and I both, I believe, ascribe to the same theory, that is, there was something at some point that caused these myths to pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it was giants, well, there were giants all across the world, or whether it was the flood, well, there was a flood in all these different places.
Yeah.
It was probably a global one, or whether it was like vampires.
Right. Vampire giants.
There's a reason all of these myths pop up in all these different places.
Well,
that never spoke to each other.
That goes up to a second point I wanted to clear up.
Okay.
That said there's a difference between fiction, legend, and myth.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So I got definitions. The fiction stories are purely imaginary or made up. They're not necessarily based on any real life events.
Right.
Legend refers to stories that are based on real events or people, but have been exaggerated or embellished over time.
Yeah, Slender Man.
Yeah, and they often
based on the Tall Man, but not actually the story of the Tall
Man. Well, King Arthur.
Yeah.
And a lot of them go through. Legends often involve heroic figures, extraordinary events, a lot of times passed down through oral tradition. And then myth. Now, myth are stories that are deeply ingrained in a culture's beliefs and worldviews. They often involve supernatural divine beings, are often used to explain the origin of the world, natural phenomena, and customs and traditions of that culture. So, while fiction is imaginary, legends are based on real events or people that have been embellished, and myths are deeply ingrained in the culture that kind of explain the worldview.
Right.
Like if you go through, like the Aztec, we're going through and we're looking at a couple of short stories of the gods. I think human sacrifice is abhorrent.
Right.
But based on their mythology, it was part of their culture.
Yeah.
It was part of their belief system and how they explained the world and interacted with the world. Myth is a lot heavier.
It is.
Than legends.
There's a lot more mundane myths, I think, too, that are like just in our culture here in the U.S. today. The step on a crack to break your mama's back.
Yeah.
That is a myth. It's no longer just a legend. It's no longer just a fiction.
Yeah.
It is a myth because it's ingrained in our culture.
Yeah.
It's something that even if we don't necessarily believe it,
yeah.
Sometimes when you're walking alone and there's a crack and you're about to step on it, that little thing in the back of your head goes, "Hey, don't do that."
Right.
You know what's going to happen if you do.
Step over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing.
And that's a much more mundane example, but
yeah.
Another example that comes to my mind often is, when I see a deer, and not just because of my experience with deers, but when I see a deer, a buck with full antlers, and it's looking at me, I was raised being taught about over it. I'm going to take a pause for a second and go, what's he looking at me for? What's going on? I didn't step through somewhere, did I? Am I okay?
Yeah, right.
That's ingrained.
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to get a full discussion, just for example. Because you'll hear people say, like, this is a Christian nation. Right. It's not exactly, that's not exactly true. I won't discredit the effect that it had on here. And a lot of that has come through. Most of the founding fathers were theists, not Christians. But that's another discussion for another day. Yeah. But I wanted to show that I feel there's a difference. There's something, I feel different reading myths too. Yeah. It's like fiction, I love fiction. Legends are cool. I like all that. But something about hearing myths and you know these things are ingrained in the culture. It's like being let in on a secret.
It is. It absolutely is. What's that old saying? If you want to understand a people, read their mythology.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
If you know about a place, you study their history, right?
Mm.
You look at it through history. If you want to know the people, yeah, you read their fiction or mythology or whatever,
right?
Their legends and stuff, and that would give you a better understanding of the world that you might not get from just strictly being historical about it.
Right. Because people aren't just history. People are
Right.
history, mythology. They're all the little experiences that have built up over time. You know? And we all have our own superstitions, I guess is the word. But
yeah.
some of those come from mythology. Some of those come from learned experiences. And it's finding the line between them that helps you to understand other people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just...
I mean, like, not that you agree. I don't read these mythologies, like they're the Aztec creation mythology. You're like, yep, that's the way it happened.
Right.
But I still feel like I've been let in on a secret. Like, okay, now I kind of understand a little better. I understand why Quetzalcoatl is such a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
What he gave up to,
sure.
Or Tlaloc, what they mean and how it shaped the culture.
That Huitzilopochtli is still the boss.
So before I got one other thing to talk about before I do, I think my favorite was the sun god that you had the picture of. That guy was impressive.
Yeah, that guy was cool.
Impressive. There was quite a few I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised. There was a couple like Quetzalcoatl and Tlaloc that I knew I'd heard of,
right,
and seen, but just couldn't, like the one with the smoky mirror on his chest.
Yeah,
I've seen that before, but I had no idea, what it led into.
It's still Huitzilopochtli for me. He was already cool before. I didn't know he manifested a spear and shield, came out of the womb fighting, and beat 400 of his brethren.
Yeah, 400 of his.
That's pretty sick. As a baby.
Yeah. No, he wasn't a baby. Right. He was never a baby.
He was fresh.
Yes. He was a newborn, but he wasn't a baby.
Yeah.
That makes
more word to go by for it. No, I agree. It's super cool. I'm glad we checked it out.
Yeah, and I think I was with the ones we've done before. I think I kind of, to my shame, discredited about not grabbing a few stories to tell to kind of help bring them to life. And I think the Aztec mythology is really cool.
Yeah, it's
really cool. I love the colors. I love the vibrancy of it. This is myth and technicolor to me.
Right.
See the pictures.
That just means we gotta go back and grab the other ones later.
Yeah, in whatever way, I'm gonna try to get at least somewhere between 3 and 5 stories for each one we do.
Yeah.
Moving on, so we can kind of see where stories maybe line up.
Yeah.
And look, even so far removed from this strange alien culture, like the story of the lovers.
Yeah.
You don't need to be Aztec to understand that.
That's a great story.
That's a really cool story.
Mm-hmm.
That's like,
the mountain still burns.
Yes.
Love for her.
Yeah, you can go see the mountains today.
It's good stuff.
Smoke rises from the active volcano as he keeps constant
100%.
Watch.
The players are going in a
campaign.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. But I got one more thing to talk about. Is there anything else you want to cover in this? Yeah.
I don't think so. I think when we talk often about like how would you run this, I would run it straight. This is the Pantheon we're running.
Yeah.
You're gonna deal with stuff. You might wind up fighting one of the gods at the end, but you're probably not gonna.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna end up finding like a priest of one of them that's gone rogue or something. But,
yeah. And see, this was a little bit different. I think this was a little bit funner to me because it was a strict line.
Yeah.
For the mythology, like when we looked at Brazil, there's 300 something tribes in Brazil. So we were grabbing stuff and. But there's no way to do a concise thing on that. And with Japan, you've got Shintoism, you've got Buddhism, and in there as well,
all
right?
Mixed in,
so that kind of goes through. But with the Aztec, this is Aztec mythology. This is one people,
same with
one
the Norse.
story.
I think it's
pretty
one good.
Yeah,
just take it and play
it. You've got your setting there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your pantheon.
Yeah,
there's heroes and villains and magical creatures. Yeah. The rules are straightforward. You're just coloring it different.
Champion or Huitzilopochtli would be so much fun. Spear and shield at all times, going to fight to protect anybody that needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. What? Okay. Well, we need to know what we're doing next.
Yep.
If y'all don't have a choice, or if y'all agree with it, I am going to go to some. I'm going to look up some Slavic mythology.
Ooh.
That unless somebody else has got another idea, or somewhere else would like us to look at some stories and creatures and gods and the like.
Slavic could be cool.
I think Slavic would be cool.
Let's let them decide what you get into.
What we
Whatever
talk
you
about?
got here, yeah.
I do like how we've went like, okay, like Brazil,
Yeah.
Japan, Norway, Aztec,
Yep.
So
Yep.
the next one I want to go Slavic, but if somebody said,
Yeah.
Korean or Chinese, we're
Yeah.
gonna go way back over here.
Whether that's Native American.
Yeah.
The
From
Trans Am, indeed.
Yes, nice. Shoot 'em. All right. So you've heard me say to y'all at the end of many podcasts how important y'all are to me and what I believe about you. It takes thousands and thousands of years and millions of people to create you. There's never been anything like you, and there never will be again. I believe that wholeheartedly. Possibly, Dart.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. If there,
If you have a more specific section of Slavic you'd like to hear us talk about,
right.
let us
Yeah.
know.
Again. But I want to talk about that, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to start with a little bit of a segue.
Okay.
I've got here a deck of cards, right? And there's 52 cards
Okay.
in here. Okay. Have you heard of, do you know what a factorial is?
No.
Okay.
I only know about the video game Factorio.
Okay. So, factorial 52. So, let's say we're going to do 52 factorial. I'm not going to figure it out. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what the number is.
Okay.
And you'll find out why in a second. But so what you do to have a 52 factorial, you take 52, multiply by 51, multiply by 50, multiply by 49.
Okay.
Okay. But this, to figure out how many different combinations of shuffling you can have with this,
Right.
it's 52 factorial.
Right.
Now, I crashed all the calculators I could find. They wouldn't do it, trying to do that. So if you were to write out every single digit of 52 factorial in standard decimal notation, okay, the resulting number would have over 67 million digits.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So to put that in perspective, the number of atoms in the observable, Russian would be good.
Russian would be fun.
Russian would be good. Put that in perspective. The number of atoms in the observable universe is estimated to be 10 to the 80th power. So the number of digits in the 52 factorial is it's larger, much, much larger than the number of atoms in the universe.
Okay.
So every time you shuffle a deck, you could have shuffled it into a pile that's never been seen before, an order that's never been seen before. You can do that. So now we could, if I had access to a supercomputer, it could calculate the 52 factorial for us.
Right.
The problem is, it would probably take a couple centuries for it to figure it out. Okay.
Well, all right.
Using the traditional algorithm to get it
Yeah.
out. So I've got a 10 factorial.
Okay.
So 10 factorial. So if you have 10 playing cards, right?
Yeah.
And you want to figure out how many different combinations of that 10 cards?
Yeah.
There's 3,628,800 different combinations. Right. So there's 3,628,800 possible ways to arrange 10 cards. Factorials get big quick, by the way.
Robert, I feel like I should mention at this point, I failed high school math.
Yeah, well.
Like,
yeah.
You mentioned you crashed the calculator. I crashed when you first explained what a factorial was.
Yeah.
I'm hanging on by a thread here.
Factorials get nutty. But I was saying that number that we can't compute without a supercomputer taking many years to do, because it's going to have 67 million digits in that number. Okay. That's a big number.
Yeah.
Big
No,
number. That's with 52 options, right? 52 cards.
Yeah.
Now, when I think about viewers, think about me and you,
Mm.
what makes a human life? There's a lot more than 52 things that can
Yeah.
be changed up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say, I just want to scientifically prove that when I say there's been nothing like you in the universe, in the history of the universe, and there never will be again, I mean it because it's true.
Yeah.
All right? So I just want to clear that up. I don't say that willy-nilly or as like a nice thing to say. Yeah, it's an absolute fact. And I hope I've proved that.
Chat, my brain may be broken, but he's right. Honestly, at this point, I'm having a hard time computing more than 10.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll give you 10 cards. And it doesn't quite, in a way it doesn't compute, right?
Yeah,
1, 2,
no,
3, 4,
when you go, yeah,
5,
it's just 10
6,
cards,
7,
10 different
8,
combinations.
9, 10, yeah. So with these 10 cards, there's 3,628,800 ways to do these. And look, I'll help with the factorial, right?
Okay.
So if we laid them out, so there are 10 possible cards for the first position, right?
Yeah.
There's our first number, we pick one. So for the second position, you have 9 possible cards. You can multiply that
Right.
by 9, third, 8, and so forth. That's
Yeah.
how you end up with the numbers. Like I said, they go way, they get big quick.
Yeah.
They get really, really big quick.
I feel like I did learn about this in high school, but like I said, I failed high school math, so
Yeah.
you know. Only reason I got to pass is because of how good my grades were in history and science. And unfortunately, science and math are joined.
Yeah.
So it's just the parts of science that didn't require history or math I was really good at.
Put these cards back up. These are my girlfriend's cards. She'll kill me. So
Yeah, be careful with those.
I think I have to do it. I'll do that.
Okay, so Russian mythology.
That should be interesting because we're going to have. Hey! That's going to be into official Caucasian mythology.
Yeah, we got there finally.
Because we're going for the Caucasus, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's going to be part of it. But we're not doing that.
I don't know anything really about Russian mythology. I know like the smallest amount because I know Baba Yaga and I know Chernobog, and that's it. That's as much as I can.
You also get a little bit of the abominable snowman. I know that's Tibet, but that
Okay.
in that area going
Okay.
through Siberia and stuff. Honestly, it's not called that, but I do believe when you get over to the eastern side up through Siberia, there's a Wendigo type
Okay.
thing.
I got you. Yeah, that makes
That-
sense.
Right, that's where they can walk
Mhm.
across the Bering Strait and all that
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
Of course, that's another thing I found out while doing all this, getting in mythology and looking stuff up.
Right.
Yeah, apparently there were people here when the folks came across the Bering Straits. They found some bones, evidence of a culture that was before the
Huh.
what we say the Native American
Yeah.
came through here,
Huh.
and of course they became the Olmecs, the Incas, Mayans, the Cherokee, all that. That's in another place entirely. Another place entirely.
That's a whole different discussion.
Moose Man, okay.
Yeah.
That was, moose are scary.
Don't know what that story is, but I'm sure I'm gonna find out.
Shoot. I'd take on like Joe Rogan, I'd be like a bull moose. Not saying I charge or anything, I'm just saying I try to keep eye contact while I piss myself. That's, that's a moose thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Man,
All right.
I'm still swirling. Please carry us out of here.
Okay, so I'm gonna write down on my little handy dandy notepad. Copyright.
I have my pen for you.
I got it right here. Russian. And Russia's kind of big.
Yeah. Kievan Rus.
That may get divided down to like a section of Russia.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Through that. Any other weird news that pops in my head? I can't think of anything right now. I guess About time to wrap up. We're looking at Russian mythology next. Trey, you building painting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Trey will be painting tomorrow.
Captain Harlock theme Eldari Corsairs.
Okay.
In honor of Leiji Matsumoto. I swear.
Right on. He'll be painting tomorrow. He'll be taking care of that. I don't know how it's going to go.
Hopefully good.
He throws paint at him or slaps him with something.
Yeah.
Monday we're back with
factorials chopped at him.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna show up in the chat tomorrow and just be like, "Hey Trey, remember factorials?"
No. So, Monday we're back. And on Monday we got some more Lotro to go through Moria. Trying to get him through that one.
Yep.
Through there. Tuesday we'll have a regular podcast with reviews, announcements, and news, among other things. Wednesday I will play a game. I don't know what game. Hopefully it, can be played windowed and without a controller.
Yeah, it actually works.
Yeah, it actually works. But we'll decide on that Tuesday night. Thursday we're back with some Russian mythology. That should be really interesting. I'm loving this mythology stuff.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
Hurry up, Rungren!
I'm working on it, Bill. I'm trying to get through this. Then that Friday he'll be back to building.
Mm-hmm.
Through that. You have one started, or is it a new one?
No, it's going to be a new one, and we still have to do the vote, although I'm kind of thinking I might not do the vote.
Yeah.
And I might just pick one I want to build, because I've been wanting to build it for a while, and it keeps losing the vote.
No, that would be a surefire way to make sure that you can build that one. Is just do it.
Yeah. So we're probably going to build the GM cardigan from Build Fighters, but...
Okay. Very nice, very nice. We've, we'll let you know, we're now officially halfway through Gun of Victory.
Yep.
We'll have some discussion on that Tuesday for sure.
Disappointed!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
It is the GM cardigan from Build Fighters Try. It's the big, bulky-looking GM. I love the GM cardigan so much. It's my favorite GM variant.
Okay. So that's why you want to build it, huh?
Yeah. And unfortunately, Build Fighters Try does not keep it around like they should, and goes, "Hey, but what if we gave this character an SD Gundam instead?" No! Let her keep the GM cardigan. It's great. It's better than a power GM. It's bigger and bulkier.
So
It's great.
does it have a sweater?
No, but it looks like it's wearing a sweater.
Okay. I don't know. This is like I thought maybe we were building the Grandma Duncan Gundam or something like that.
It's your GM friend, the GM cardigan.
Oi. All right. We made it through. Thank you. Look, the thousands and thousands of years create you, millions and millions of people. Never been anything like you in this universe. Never will be again. So thank you for spending time with us, hanging out, commenting, and enjoying this. I really dig this. And it's scientific fact that statement is correct. Okay? Okay?
That's true.
You're super, super rare. Okay. I won't do that. All right. So until next time, I have been Rungren.
I've been Trey.
This has been the full spectrum. Please, remember to always enjoy the full spectrum of mythology. That's the offer.